Disclaimer: this is a student presentation using a hypothetical scenario for educational purposes. I am a student at UAMS and do not represent any agency or hold the title included in this presentation. The information presented does not reflect the views of UAMS or any other agency. Hello, my name is Taylor McClanahan, and I am an environmental health specialist here in Arkansas. I am honored and excited to talk to your local community today about organic and local foods. As a passionate advocate for healthy eating, I hope you gain important information from this presentation and join me in the healthy lifestyle journey by incorporating organic and local food into your daily lives. The purpose of this presentation is to explain the pros and cons about eating organic foods. Feel free to interrupt me throughout the presentation, as I would love to get your feedback and opinion on this topic. The objectives for today are listed here. First, it is important to review the history behind organic farming and how it has developed into what it is today. Then I will define the difference between conventional and organic foods. Next, I will explain the legal regulations regarding organic foods and requirements that must be in place in order to remain in good standing with the United States Department of Agriculture. Additionally, we will be discussing the benefits of eating organic food as well as associated risk factors. In this presentation, I will discuss the accessibility of organic foods in the market and locations to find local food in Arkansas. I will share examples of ways to purchase organic food items by reading food labels and give you resources to help guide you in the right direction. Alright, let's get started. There are several different aspects of our history that explain the modern techniques for obtaining food. During the 18th and 19th centuries, there was an increased transportation of food. This allowed farmers to ship food to more places at competitive prices. With this additional income, farmers were able to purchase potassium and phosphorus-rich rock dust that would help them produce more products. During this time, we also noticed new machinery being created. New farming machinery allowed producers to work more efficiently and increase their size of land. These near-perfect conditions increased the desire of pests and diseases to spread on their land. The problem of soil compaction and soil erosion quickly accelerated during these times. As pests and diseases continuously spread, the demand for more products increased. The strong desire led to development of pesticides. Copper arsenic and lead arsenic were one of the first insecticides to be created. It was observed that they caused damage to the plants as well as long-term toxicity to the soil. Around the early 20th century, a German chemist discovered how to make nitrates from bombs during the World Wars. After the war, there were large amounts of nitrates available, and these were now marketed as fertilizer for the plants. This excess nitrogen went into the groundwater and negatively affected the natural ecosystem. Between 1950 and 1970, there was the development of large breeding programs. This increased the product yield but also increased the need for nitrogen-rich pesticides. In order to keep up with the demand, farmers will always be in need of pesticides, large productivity, hybrid seeds to crop, and transportation of goods. As research continues to develop, we will learn more about long-term effects of pesticides and conventional foods. What is conventional food? Conventional food is food that is prepared from the use of seeds that have been altered genetically. Since these food items are genetically altered material, they cannot be classified as organic. They are created using traditional breeding methods, but do not include methods using biotechnology. They are modified to enhance the growth of the plant. When customers choose to buy an apple that is larger, it increases producer productivity, which satisfies customer demand. Additionally, most conventional foods include chemicals such as pesticides, herbicides, and growth hormones to preserve the appearance of the food. According to Rickman, Barrett, and Braun, fresh fruits and vegetables only last a few days before they are viewed as unsafe or undesirable for consumption. This has to do with the fact that fruits and vegetables consist mostly of water, making them perfect targets for microbial spoilage. Identify Preserved, also known as IP, is a system created to help food maintain its fresh appearance throughout the entire food chain. This encourages the customer to want to purchase the food since it will have a better appearance. Without these chemicals and added growth hormones, consumers will not want to purchase old, rotten, and small food when compared to a shiny, larger option. Although the food items may look more presentable, we have to understand that they are using chemicals in order to maintain this appearance. So now we will discuss how organic food is defined. Organic food is any food that is produced without the use of chemicals, fertilizers, bioengineered genes or GMOs, growth hormones, antibiotics, etc. They protect natural resources by using manure or compost-based fertilizers. It is a common misconception that organic foods do not contain pesticides. However, some contain them in limited amounts. Since they do not include a large amount of pesticides, they rely on biological methods such as birds or pest control. When pesticides are used in organic products, they are derived from plants, animals, and minerals. On the other hand, conventional foods use synthetic-based pesticides. One fact about organic food that I found fascinating is that the animals used to make these products must be fed organic food as well. United States Department of Agriculture created an organic label in 2002 to create standards for what products would be considered organic. When products contain the organic seal, it indicates to consumers that the products are within the guidelines created by USDA. Producers and farmers must participate in a yearly inspection to ensure they are working within the required regulations. In order to include this label on raw products, the food must be 100% organic. Processed foods only require 95% of the product to be organic in order to have the seal. Products containing 70 to 95% of organic materials may have a label that says product made with organic ingredients. Next time you go grocery shopping, make sure you look for this label and read the description of items included on the food labels. After extensively researching this topic, I began interested in learning more about canned vegetables and fruits. I wanted to know how they compared to organic and conventional food items. As mentioned in the last slide, fresh fruits and vegetables contain lots of water. They must have a high rate of respiration when exposed to oxygen. Placing these types of foods into cans, storage containers, or refrigerators will help to reduce the amount of respiration. This increases access to food because they are able to be transported all across the country. During the storage process, heat treatments are performed on the food. This results in some nutritional loss prior to consumption. So now I want to discuss the pros of eating organic food and locally grown foods. Although I'm an advocate for healthy eating, there are several pros when it comes to organic farming to help back up my stance on this issue. Farmers participating in organic farming use manure or compost to nourish the soil of their crops. This helps to protect natural resources, in our environment. Organic farming is relying on natural methods to prevent pests and diseases. This includes birds and insects. Instead of exposing workers to harmful chemicals, organic farmers use their hands and mulch to reduce the spread of weeds in the crops. The consumption of both conventional foods and organic food is considered safe, but it is recommended to eat organic options for long-term benefits. I thought it was important to mention that there are some benefits associated with the livestock used to produce organic poultry. In organic farming, animals are in healthy environments and they are allowed to roam and experience the outdoors. I did mention this fact earlier, but they are also fed organic foods as well. The importance and advantages of vaccines in our culture are evident. I feel more secure knowing that these animals are given vaccines to help prevent diseases that may be transferred to humans. Now, I would like to discuss the nutritional benefits to eating organic food products. Organic products are known to have more nutrients than conventional products. There is a lot of evidence regarding antioxidants such as flavonoids and their presence in organic items. Antioxidants are able to protect our cells from aging and cancer. Omega-3 fatty acids are considered to be a healthier type of fat that we should consume in our diet. Organic meat, eggs, and dairy generally have more omega-3 fatty acids in them when compared to genetically modified products. Cadmium is a toxic metal that is normally found in the soil and absorbed by plants. Organic grains have lower levels of cadmium absorbed than grains that were produced from synthetic fertilizers. As previously mentioned, organic food can incorporate pesticides into the manufacturing process. Even though certain types of pesticides are allowed, there is still a lower level of residue on them. One positive aspect of organic farming is that the animals receive vaccines. Thus, we see that conventionally raised animals are more susceptible to bacteria. So next, I want to cover a few cons associated with organic food production. One of the major cons to eating organic food is the cost. It can be very expensive to purchase and produce these products. This is one of the top reasons why people may stray away from purchasing these items. There is a higher quality expectation with organic farming. Instead of using synthetic pesticides, oftentimes workers will use their hands to pull weeds from the plants. This is very demanding labor and time consuming for the workers. According to research funded by the European Union, conventional food products are approximately 4 times more likely to contain pesticide residue than organic products. On the next slides, you will see images of how the size of fruits and vegetables can vary. This image is illustrating the difference between conventional and organic foods. On the left, you can see how the organic tomato is smaller and brighter than the GMO tomato. A similar pattern can be seen on the right side of the slide. The larger apple is a GMO product. Consumers are often persuaded to purchase the larger fruit in order to get more value of their money. However, these larger fruit contain fertilizers and synthetic pesticides that may cause harm to our health. Here are other pictures showing the major differences between organic versus conventional fruit. The top right shows how organic apples tend to be more expensive than the non-organic products. At the bottom right, you can see that the non-GMO apple quickly turns brown faster than the one with added GMOs. The 2015 to 2020 dietary guidelines for Americans indicate that United States adults' food consumption does not align with the recommended guidelines. Approximately one-third of the population is lacking the sufficient fruits, vegetables, dairy, and oils. There are a high number of adults that are overweight and obese. The high amounts of sugar, saturated fats, and sodium contribute to weight gain. Almost two-thirds of adults and one-third of children and youth are either overweight or obese. Almost half of all U.S. adults have one or more chronic illness that is preventable. Food and exercise play important roles in the prevention of these diseases. Unfortunately, these numbers are still rising. These disturbing statistics support why we definitely should start now. There are several resources available to help guide your healthy eating lifestyle. As mentioned in this presentation, the Dietary Guidelines for Americans is a great resource for education on what types of foods are recommended for good health. Also, the Arkansas Department of Health has essential tools that encourage healthier choices. You can interpret your BMI, learn how to fix a healthy plate, find tips on how to prevent obesity, and so much more. The website listed here includes resources on how to find statistics in your local community, nationally and internationally. Additionally, it has links to get information regarding cancer, addiction, and highway traffic safety statistics if you need it. You can find organic foods at your local food market or farmer's market. There are typically sections in the store that are specified for organic products. So while shopping, I encourage everyone to carefully read the food labels to get a better idea of what is included in the products. It is also important to thoroughly wash your fruits and vegetables before eating them. This will help to wash away any chemicals or waxy substances from your food. Another tip to ensure you are buying organic foods is to buy them within season. So these are my references where I received all of the data that I have presented to you today. So again, my name is Taylor McClanahan. I hope you all learned some important facts on why organic eating is the preferred method to aid in a healthier lifestyle. So thank you all so much for your time and attention. What questions do you have for me?